Hello, welcome back to my channel. We're in a new setting today. As you can see, this is my living room. My partner Aubrey is in his studio right now, reorganizing and listening to music, so I wanted to just pop somewhere a little quieter, which we do have a turtle tank, so there's some noise of the water and the AC is right here, but that's fine, you know. I also have a little copyright-free playlist playing, and we love that. Anyway, I have been thinking a lot about my YouTube channel. I've been thinking a lot about what I want and my future and where everything is going. And I have decided that for right now, the best way to go about my content is to do shorter videos where I'm mostly just talking about whatever's going on in my life right now and share that with others and try to help people with what I know and my experience and just share what it's like to be a full-time artist. We are moving to Virginia in April, like end of March, like April 1st, we'll be moving in, hopefully. So we have to move basically across the country with a ton of art supplies, a million plants, 3 dogs, 3 turtles. It's gonna be a lot. So I'm going to try to record as much of that process as I can and share little bits of that as well. What I really want to do is help other artists, so I want this channel to be focused more on straightforward topics and advice and motivation. So yeah, this is just kind of a video to ease into that. I have recently dropped some new prints in the in-person markets I'm doing, and I will be very soon dropping new prints on my website. So I think my next video will be more in detail about prints and how to create prints as an artist, how to create high quality prints, how to capture the photos. So yeah, things like that. I think that will be coming very soon. And I spent a lot of money and a lot of time developing my print strategy. I also want to talk about like pricing artwork. I want to talk about building skill and techniques, and it's going to be a lot more mindset. So maybe instead of actually showing you how to use oil paint, it's going to be more about how you can approach building skill in oil paint. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep my videos around 10 to 15 minutes long, and I'm going to try to do them more frequently. I also want to help artists look for opportunities and help them build a portfolio and approach galleries and even like stores, bars, coffee shops, restaurants, all the different places that you can put your work into. I want to talk about my experience with that and help artists do that as well. I have an exhibition going on right now in New Orleans at a bar called Anna's, and I really want to talk about how that went. So maybe that's what I'll do today. This show was really interesting and really different because it is such a large space that I had to go into the little stores and galleries that I'm in the city and pull everything, put new things in those stores so that I can keep my place in the store so that they don't fill it with another artist and then I can't come back. And then go to this new show, set everything up, hang everything myself, talk to them about lighting, you know, all these different things that go into play when you're displaying your art. I had to touch up paintings because if you work markets or you do a lot of shows or you have a lot of old pieces, if you're an artist, you know this already, but pieces do tend to get a little dinged up. So I had to touch up old pieces, mostly just the corners of pieces, and then wire them like I said. So you have to go to the store, make sure you have everything you need to wire them, and they need to be signed. Every piece needs to be signed, varnished, and photographed. Once all of that is done, they are ready to be on display and they're ready to be sold. The reason you want to make sure you varnish and photograph them before is so that someone could take them with them. Someone could take the pieces with them if they would like to, and they're ready to go straight to someone's home. And another thing I had to do was get picture hanging kit so that I had proper screws or nails, drill or hammer, whatever you're using. You want to bring all of that with you to the space that you'll be hanging in. And you also want a small plaque or sign that goes with every painting that says bare minimum, the title, the medium, the size, and the price. If you want to go into a little more detail, you want to also share the story or the message or the meaning behind the piece, which I highly recommend. It's going to help with sales. So you want to make signs, and you also want to have something to put those signs in. So I went to Office Depot. You can also go to Michael's. You can buy small plastic or glass plaques that you can hang on the wall. You can use command strips. Some of them already have a sticky element to them. Some of them can be hung on nails. Whatever you're doing, you have to find a way to create your signs and display your signs so that they can feel legitimate and professional and valuable. You want the pieces to feel valuable, so anything you can do to enhance that value is what you want to do. So you want to first, to recap, you want to decide what pieces are going into a show, how many, the sizes, how they're going to lay out the space. You don't have to know everything from the beginning and how you're going to lay out the space, but you need to at least know that you can fill the space. It's better to take more than it is less and to not hang everything than to have weird random spaces in your show. So once you've decided your pieces, you want to make sure they are all signed, varnished, and photographed. Once you have beautiful photos of all of them and they're all ready to go, you want to create signs or plaques for each piece. Now, I highly recommend typing them out and printing them. If you don't have a printer, you can go to Office Depot or an Office Max near you, or you can hit up the library or just a friend who has a printer and print them out. Make sure they're cut and ready to go ahead of time. And you want to make sure you have your display for your signs. There's little plastic display signs. You can get them on Amazon or Walmart or Office Depot or Michael's. But you want to make sure you have that ready to go. You have enough, and that your printed signs are the same size as your plaques. You also want to make sure all your paintings are wired, like I said, and you want to make sure you have whatever you need to hang the pieces in the space. So whether you're doing the hammer and nail route or you're doing screws and a power drill, make sure your drill is charged or that you have an extension cord. Make sure you have the right screws and nails. And I always bring a few command strips just in case there's a surface you can't nail into. I try to keep some heavy duty and some lightweight on me at all times when I'm going to shows, just for backup. You never know what you're gonna need. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Another good thing to have, just in case, is like a high quality double-sided tape. So that's something else that I had on me and it came in handy. And then this was at a bar. Now it's not just like some random dive bar. It's like a nice spot. It is a local spot and they have 2 floors, and I was displaying all of my work on the 2nd floor. Talk to the venue, talk to the venue ahead of time make sure they have a ladder, and ask them if there's anything else you need to know about the space before you come and hang your work. You typically hang your work a day or a few days before the show, and then the day of the show you just want to be dressed and ready to sell and ready to talk about your work. Another thing to do is to have an elevator pitch on hand, a short pitch that kind of describes your work and what you do. Also, kind of the same concept of an elevator pitch for each piece. So even if you make a very simple plaque and you don't put the meaning or the message behind the painting in them, you want to make sure you have something to share about each piece verbally with people who are interested. Like maybe you're an abstract artist and you don't have a lot to say about your abstract. You create art because you love to create art, and there's not a secret message or meaning behind every piece. That's fine. I would talk about your process, and I would talk about how creating makes you feel, how you felt after the piece, how you were feeling before the piece. Honestly, talking about process is great, and people who are really into like technical details will enjoy that. But at the end of the day, selling is about connection, and it's about evoking emotion in people. And I would really lean into the feelings behind your art, the feelings that they caused you, the feelings you were able to express, whatever. People want to know what makes you feel something, and art is all about making someone else feel something. So connecting with that emotion is really the most important thing. And then you just want to make sure you have all the tools you need to hang it. You have signs, you have them wired. If you need a ladder, most venues have a ladder. Our venue had a ladder. A lot of venues are not, the people running them and organizing events are not artists themselves, so they might not think about lighting. So if you can talk to them about lighting as early as possible, that is what I would recommend. Especially if you're doing bars or restaurants or like raves or concerts or festivals, things like that, where your chances of it being a darker space are higher, you definitely want to think about lighting. So this is an exhibition where the pieces are up for a month, but I only was there on opening day and probably closing day. So the day of, I picked out a cute outfit, I got ready. Make sure your shoes are comfortable, or at least somewhat comfortable. Beauty is pain, but you also got to be able to function and hustle, because you're also going to be, you don't know, you could be climbing up and taking pieces down to sell people, you know, you don't know what you're going to have to do. So just be prepared for that. I brought sneakers, but I wore wedges, so just saying. So the day of, I was gonna be there, so I decided to bring prints and a bin to sell my prints in. So that's something to think about. Maybe you're doing a big show and it's all about originals, but maybe you have the opportunity to bring a print bin and prints. Make sure your prints are prepped. Make sure they have a sleeve, a piece of cardboard backing inside them, and that they are ready to sell. If you sign your prints, make sure they're signed. If you have, ideally, whatever pieces are on the wall, whatever originals are on the wall, you want to have prints available of. And you want to have a few of each. That is what I would recommend. 2 to 4 of each, depending on how big the event is supposed to be. And then another thing that I had overall for the whole event is a larger plaque, a sign with my name, my Instagram. You can put your Venmo or your Zelle QR code on there if you'd like. And then a description of you as an artist, a little bio about where you're from, about your experience, and about your inspiration. And then, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, so you want to make sure you have a sign, and you want to be ready to sell some prints if they give you that option. And yeah, that's about everything I did for that. Side things, another good thing is to bring water, caffeine, snacks. Just be prepared for it to take some time. You know, sometimes can underestimate how long it's going to take. So you want to just make sure you have everything you need to get the job done. Another thing that shows or venues often want is a flyer. A digital flyer, physical flyer, whatever it may be. I mean, if you make a digital one, you can always turn it into a physical one. So I would always make a digital flyer for whatever event you're doing. And they ask that we create it, share it with them before the event so that they can promote it, and then you can share it on your own social media once a week during the event, reminding people that it's going on, that they can go check it out. Make sure you message it to people, send it to everyone you know who you think would want to come out, send it to people who have friends with money, send it to people who love art, send it out. So yeah, that's something you're going to want to do pretty much very first thing. You want to do that, get the flyer done, and then you want to start planning what pieces are going to go out there and make sure all of your pieces are ready, and then create your signs. So yeah, I think that's about it. And then go have a great show, kick ass. It's going to be a great time. They're so awesome. It's amazing to get to watch people admire your work and soak it in and ask you questions and connect with people over your art. It's like the best feeling in the world. So have a great time. Don't stress too much. Make a list of all the things you need to do. I just gave you lots of things to just create a full list of. So watch the video back, make a list, take notes, and yeah, just be ready to share your art and make connections and network. You never know what could happen. You might not sell anything, but maybe you meet someone who invites you to a different show. Maybe you meet someone who wants a commission. You really don't know what could happen, so just be prepared for greatness. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, comment. Expect videos moving forward that excite you, that motivate you, that inform you, that make you feel connected. I'm just gonna stick to this type of stuff, and if there's something specific you want me to focus on, comment and let me know. Maybe you're really struggling with motivation. The world is in a really tough place right now, and it can be hard to just get going. So if you want a video to help you get motivated, let me know. All right, y'all. Keep painting, keep doing your thing. I love you. See you next time.